Hey everybody, happy Mindful Monday. I am sitting here reflecting, looking out the window, grateful for the sunshine for today, grateful for the fact that I have made it to the 90th day since my mother and loving, wise, and well ancestor, Teresa B. Gardner Leak, made her peaceful transition from this life to her new life as a loving, wise, and well ancestor. It is October the 9th, and it's been 90 days. I'm grateful that I am in regular communication with my mom's spirit, that I feel her presence, and I receive her love and her wisdom at all times. And I'm also grateful for the moments of intensity in this grief journey where I continue to learn how powerful grief is when I embrace it as sacred medicine. And this morning, I was struggling with being who I have been created to be, not knowing, wondering, doubting. And I'm grateful that I was able to move through the emotions, the tears, with the support of a resource. The resource is the Monday prayer calls I have with my brother Miko, my soul brother love, Miko, my brother from another mother. And for almost 10 years, we have had Monday morning prayer calls. And so when the phone rang at 7:30 this morning, I quickly answered it because I needed to have someone hold sacred space for me, someone to pray on my behalf, to help me affirm the truth of my oneness with the Creator, with the angels, the loving, wise, and well ancestors, including my mother, my spirit guides, my master teachers, my Orisha, my great 8 archetypes that live inside of me, my loved ones, and the keepers of the Akashic record. As you can see, I have a whole spiritual team. And I needed someone to hold space for me. That was what I needed in that moment. And one of the things that my mother taught me is many, many things, but one of the things that she taught me that I've been reflecting on and been sharing in this journey is that she taught me how to be the strategic CEO of my life. And even in the midst of struggle, in the midst of discomfort and pain and not knowing and wanting to know, doubting oneself, having fears, wanting to just stop it all and to just quit things. My mother taught me and continues to teach me as my loving, wise, and well ancestor that 1, I'm human. 2, that I can still be the strategic CEO of my life by resourcing myself, getting the support that I need in the moment by asking for help, by tapping into the people that I am surrounded by. I'm really grateful for the communities that I have and the relationships I have with folks. Those are some of the ways that I resource myself, especially on days when I'm struggling to give myself what I need, to give myself relief from different emotions. And it's that prayer call that I had this morning with Miko that really let me unravel and be in a place of exhaling and saying what I needed in terms of I need guidance on who I am being called to be and what I'm called to do and share in terms of my gifts, because I've been, struggling with that. And I know this morning I was able to finally surrender. I was able to finally surrender. And it was through that prayer practice with Miko, telling him what I wanted to pray for and what I wanted to affirm and give thanks for in advance. And he stood in the gain for me. We say in the gain instead of the gap, because we are affirming and knowing, even when we may not know, we're affirming and knowing that all things are working out for our highest and greatest good. And it's a blessing to be able to have somebody who can be there and hold space and know that truth for me. So I'm grateful for that. After having the prayer session, getting the tears out, I recognized that I needed to move my body. Grief shows up, intense emotions show up, all in the body. And I needed to move the body today. So I got up, got dressed, and I'm blessed to be able to have access to my tennis racket, my tennis balls, and a beautiful tennis court. And I was able to go there and work it out, y'all. Work it out on the court. Practice my forehands, practice my serves, laugh at myself. When I did some things, I know my coach would be like, "What, Ananda? What are you doing?" And just allow myself to hit the ball at least 100 times. And in doing that, I was able to move the grief up and out of the body. It doesn't mean that it's not still here, because I can feel it. But I was able to move the energy in my body. And that created some space. And that created a place where, even though as I walked off the court, I could still feel things, I had some space. And so being a strategic CEO is about knowing when you need help and then getting the help, asking for the help. I want to encourage you, if this resonates with you, to check out my latest podcast episode, the Thriving Mindfully podcast episode on being a strategic CEO and resourcing yourself. That's one podcast. That's season 7, episode 6. And then I just recorded another podcast episode that talks about when you struggle as a CEO of your life, strategic CEO of your life, and you are trying to resource yourself to get what you need in the present moment, to get the support that you need, and you still need to get support, but you're not able to do it. How do you come out of that? That's what season 7, episode 8 explores. And so check it out. Go to anandaleek.com/podcast. And you can also get season 7 of the podcast, season 6, and season 5 on Spotify. Just look for Thriving Mindfully Podcast. You'll find it. So Ooh, yeah. The breath is powerful. The breath is powerful. That is another thing that helped me calm my nervous system down and move through these emotions. We get 20,000 breaths we breathe a day, at least. And then we get 1,440 minutes each day. We've got 1 minute at least in our day to breathe deeply 4 or 5 times out of that 20,000 breaths that we get, to create in us space for us to calm down. If we add in a hug, because y'all know I love the self hugs, if you add in a hug for 20 seconds or more, you will activate your super self care powers of oxytocin, the love hormone, and serotonin, the feel good hormone. And together, what they do is they reduce the stress hormone called cortisol in your body. And if you're experiencing any form of struggle, you may be also experiencing some stress. So, hugging yourself and breathing deeply are two ways that you can be the strategic CEO of your life. Practicing them, setting an intention to practice them on a daily basis, celebrating yourself for when you do practice these self-care, I like to call them medicine, the self-care medicine tools. Yeah. So one more thing I wanted to share with you is that if you get to the end of this video and you're watching it in October of 2023, I've got two classes that I'm leading that you may be interested in. The first class is a mindful self-care class on October 9th, which happens to be today, from 8 to 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, online via Zoom. The second is a mindful self-care class offered in the same format on October 23rd, the fourth Monday of the month, from 8 to 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So these mindful self-care classes are classes that I offer through the Thriving Mindfully Academy. And I've opened them up this fall so that anyone can join whenever they feel called to. Go to anandalik.com/movement. That's where you can sign up to join me in the classes. We will be exploring how you can be strategic with your self-care in the classes. You get wisdom on the fall season. You'll also have an opportunity to practice some gentle movement, and you'll learn about some of the moon and astrology wisdom for this season. So go to anandalik.com/movement. I think I have talked quite a bit, so I'm going to sign off. Check out the podcast, Thriving Mindfully Podcast, the latest episodes, episode 8, season 7, episode 8, and then season 7, episode 6. Check them out. All right? Take care, and may we all continue to embrace thriving mindfully in everything that we think, feel, say, and do.